if we're gonna give you wines that are hard to access, let me tell you right now, nothing is more exciting than the Zulal from Armenia. Amy Kushgarian was on the show, episode 508, earlier this year. This is the 2020 Voskehat, which she discusses. It's a white wine, the most popular white wine in Armenia. Now, Zulal means pure in Armenian. It makes sense for Amy's project, which was founded in 2017. After she came and worked with her father, he taught her about enology, about winemaking. She really got excited about the indigenous grapes of Armenia. And with her father and a number of other people, she decided to make this wonderful brand that really focuses in on the monovarietal bottlings of Armenia's native grapes. So it's really, really cool. I mean, the problem for, and again, if you listen to the podcast, we go over the story, but when Armenia was absorbed into the Soviet Union in 1921, the Soviet Union looked at it as a place for bulk wine, for brandy, and then also for the sherry style wine, which was called kereth or kerez or whatever they called it. And so it was really anonymized grapes that were for bulk production. They were looking for maximum yields, not quality. But there were these small producers, villagers, who decided they were going to keep the traditions alive and keep making wine for their families. When the Kushgarians came to Armenia and decided to start their projects, along with a number of other Armenians who came back to Armenia to look into this renaissance, this wine renaissance in the early 2000s, people like Amy and her dad formed these long-term contracts with the villagers to make sure that they would not rip up these precious vines like the Voskehat and Arani, these other grapes that we heard about in that show. So now Amy and her father and some others are trying to genetically identify all of the Armenian varieties. And Voskehat is very, very important. So for Zulal, Voskehat is completely hand harvested. It is grown on a south-facing slope to get the most sun, really try to focus and get lots of flavor out of this wine. The fermentation is done exclusively in stainless steel. Again, that idea of purity, Zulal, pure. And this is the 2020 vintage. Let's take a look at it. It is kind of dark in color, a little bit of skin contact here. And so you don't have a ton of color. It's definitely not an oaky wine, but you've got some color here. Spin it around the glass and take a sniff. So the thing that I want to say about this wine is that it is delicate. It's subtle. It's like honeysuckle and lime and white flowers with a little bit of pear. And it reminds me really of spring. But you will not get those things off this wine if you serve it too cold. So serving temperature, as many of you know, is a big thing with me, but I will tell you that the Voskehat does not show well out of the fridge. It actually does better. And you know, I'm not a big fan of just leaving something out on the counter, but this is actually a pretty good wine to leave at 60, 65 degrees because you're going to get a lot more aroma out of it if you do that. Let's take a sip. Minerally, herbal, really, really herbal, with a little bit of arugula, some nut, and then a very strong salinity in this wine with nice acidity. It almost has a bitter green leaf note, again, arugula. So delicious. If you serve this warm or warmer, the flavors are going to express themselves really well. Have it with some soft cheese. It is a lovely and delightful wine, subtle and nuanced and great for this shipment, which is really just about being, you know, different and finding some wines that you wouldn't normally drink. So I think you'll really love this. Understand it's a subtle wine, but so beautiful. And if you serve it a little warmer, you'll get so much pleasure out of it. I think you'll love it.